Hello there, Sniper here. Just thought what I would do is show you guys a favourite method I've got for making coffee on the trail. For a lot of us who hike and through hike and day hike, whatever we do, getting a good cup of coffee is important. Can't bring myself to do instant, so I've got two options. One of them is the pour over, which I think you've seen on other videos that I've done. But my favourite by quite a mark is the Esbit coffee percolator. Now, it's not ultralight, but it makes the best coffee. So what I'll do is I'll dig out the bits and pieces that go with it. I'll take a quick walk outside because it's a beautiful day here, and I'll have a brew. Speak to you shortly. So, as promised, I've dug everything out and I thought, wouldn't it be good? Let's get the weights up there, let's see and introduce all the items. So I'll need to switch on the scales first of all. And the first item that I'm going to be using, I think if you watched my last video, I wasn't happy with the trivet system and the old Trangia. So I've swapped out and I've gone back to my titanium bush box with an extra bit of tin foil in the bottom just to protect the ground. As you can see, it's 155 grams. So what else are we going to need? Well, we're going to need a cup. So this is the Kupilka, so it's reconstituted in plastic, so it's very environmentally friendly. Not only that, it's 85 grams. Really nice to drink out of. So I'm going to need a burner. So what have I got? I've got the ever new titanium, 45 grams. Jury's out on whether that's actually any quicker, although it's got more jets than the traditional Trangia. But you know, I'll do a timer when we take this one outside. I'm going to need some water, and I'm going to put both on because the filter just keeps rolling off. So this is the Knockout Doors 2-litre bag and the Sawyer Squeeze. So together they work out really well, and they're only 180 grams. Now, the reason I'm going to show these is because the flow rate on my last video, the Sawyer had totally bunged up. So I done a flush through both ways, 1 part bleach to 20 parts water, and it's fantastic. Flow rate's back to normal. I'm absolutely delighted. I'm also not dead, so that seems to have worked quite well. So I'm going to need a lighter. I'm going to need to have something to ignite it anyway. So this is my favourite lighter. Again, not ultralight. It is the Soto Horizontal gaslit burner, and it's brilliant. Really good for getting in and setting fire to the meths. Super hot, super reliable, and I'll take the 45 gram hit for it. Again, I'm going to need some meths, and on this occasion I'm going to take the Vargo bottle, and what you'll see is it's got measures on the side. I'm guessing I'm going to get away with about half a fluid ounce. Put an ounce in trying it the other night, and well, it burnt by twice the time I needed it to boil the water. So let's go outside and let's have a cuppa. And here's everything we pretty much need to get going. So I'll put everything together and I'll bring you back just as we're about to kick things off. So this is the Esbit coffee percolator. It's just a thing of great beauty. It's a big lump of metal that's really well engineered that gives you a full-on espresso experience. So let's just take it apart here. In the top here, got wire mesh and a silicon type seal. In here, that's where the coffee goes, so you pop that in there, and what you do is water goes in here. Now, what I've done off here is I've filtered the water I need with the Kupilka, and let's just put in, because I don't really want to boil any more water than I actually need. So I'll pop that in, I'll put the coffee in here, I'll put the lid back on top, and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, we're good to go. I've got the tin foil underneath just in case I was on the ground. I've got the two little trivets, one of them's in there already, and we're about to light. So yep, and that's going. Let's pop this on the top. Put the Esbit on here, and there we go. Get ready to catch the coffee. Now, timer's going. When I done this last night, it took just around about 4 minutes and 35 or so seconds. So I'll come back to you shortly. Now what's quite good here, actually it's a bit more real world, is it's a bit breezy out here, the flames are going well. I usually have this out when if I'm going to go hammocking. I'm not doing lots of hiking, so I'm going to have a glove here to be able to take this off when I need it also. So we're just sitting here at just over 3 minutes, so I'm hoping that we'll have coffee in about, well, less than 2 minutes time. Alright, so what you might have seen there is, with a slight breeze, half a fluid ounce isn't going to be enough, so I had to put in another probably quarter of a fluid ounce, and I'm hoping that's going to be enough. So still waiting for that brew. So I'm quite elevated up here, so I'm trying to shield it just a little bit, because to be honest, that's exactly what I would do if it was slightly exposed and there was a bit of a breeze. So I'm also gagging for a cup of coffee. So this is really interesting actually, because it just goes to show that the effect that the wind can have. So when I've done this last night, it was about 4.5 minutes. So I got to my 4.5 minutes, it ran out, put another quarter of a fluid ounce in, because I thought I'd put in too much yesterday, and again it's just gone out. So I'm going to put a shield round it. I mean, I've got one, and I've just noticed I'm about to run out of battery on my phone. Oops. Take 3. What a difference the windshield is making. I think we'll have coffee shortly. there eventually. Should add in, I would have had my Optimus titanium folding spoon. This is the Van Gogh, I think it's the small of the windshields that they do, so ended up adding that to the list of things I would probably take. Again, this is usually bushcrafting or in the woods and hammocking, that kind of thing. It's not long distance, so I'm quite happy to carry the extra weight for a good coffee. And on that subject, cheers. I mean, the coffee is absolutely fantastic out of this thing, but that turned out to be quite a faff. So anyway, before I even get there, a couple of things to mention. So I figured out a couple of years ago I'm lactose intolerant, so stopped taking milk in my coffee. That definitely helps, because powdered milk and fresh milk is definitely hard to find. I would just add that the shield that I ended up putting in, that's the Van Gogh aluminium small shield. That was 95 grams. I think I've taken one of the panels off, so maybe normally it's more, but I'm sure I took one of the panels off because I thought it was too long. So just to summarise in terms of time, 4.5 minutes went and gone. The wind outside stole the heat, which meant it didn't percolate. I put in another quarter of a fluid ounce, thinking that that would do it. Wasn't enough, so it took to third time lucky, and I put the shield round it, put in about another quarter and a fluid ounce, and it was boiling within about 40 seconds. It was rapid at that point. Of course the thing was already hot, but I'd had to nip into the house and it had a chance to cool down. So the night before I'd put in a fluid ounce and I only needed half by the timing. I needed the full fluid ounce because of the wind today. However, I think it would have been far less if I had the windshield around it. Now, more often than not, I would, in those type of trips, if I had a tent, it would be the Lux Hex Peak, so I'd be in there cooking and it would probably be very little in terms of wind. But if I was out in the hammock, I would have the Alp kit table, and I would have that set up, just below, so I could have coffee from my hammock, as Shug says, a great luxury. And so the aim of this was to say what is the best coffee that I have on the trail. So the only thing I haven't tried, which is one of the usual suspects, is the AeroPress, though I know people have got them. And I certainly don't like the idea with the paper filters, but the mesh is more appealing. But I think I just can't see it beating the Esbit. Maybe I'll have to go and buy one and try it, or borrow one and try it. It is fantastic coffee. It's super strong and certainly sets me up for the day. But all of that paraphernalia versus the GSI pour over Java Drip, I think it's called, and that's between 10 and 12 grams. So there's a very, very big difference. And of course, if I'm hiking, especially multi-day, that's what I'm going to take. Otherwise, what's the best coffee? I stick by what I said. It's the Esbit coffee percolator. Thanks for watching.